Hey everybody, it's the Appalachian Apostle again, and I want to discuss the Congressional Oversight Committee for the State Department emergency hearing for James Comey. So first off, my wife was like, don't watch that 4.5 hour long video, just watch the highlights. So that is so absolutely accurate. Don't watch the 4.5 hour version. I watched 3 hours of it and totally regret that. I wish I'd just watched the highlights. Just to speak about the committee, like, oh wow. I mean, if that was just the biggest bunch of grandstanding I've ever heard. Like probably 85% of it was just Republicans and Democrats just campaigning for their party or talking shit about the other one or bringing up things that weren't even relevant. And some people like either were high or are just incompetent or dumb. There were some people I'm like, oh my God, these people were elected just saying nonsense. And like, but there was a small faction of it that they were asking legitimate questions on both sides. So my little synopsis of the whole thing is that James Comey is absolutely made an objective ruling. I think what everybody's having trouble with is they're looking at it as, oh, Hillary did something wrong, and how can you say you're not going to prosecute her? Well, the deal is, best I can discern, is it's the scope that they presented to James Comey. They set it up very, I imagine intentionally. He was not to investigate the bigger scenario. He's not to look in to the Freedom of Information Act. He is not to look into her testimony to Congress, investigating perjury. Like, no, like we all assume that, right? We just figure he's like everything that's involved, not looking at that at all. He was asked a very direct question. Did Hillary Clinton act in a criminal? Did she have a criminal intent to not protect classified documents, or was she grossly incompetent? So unless she just shows up tomorrow and says, you know what, I really was doing this on purpose, and I don't care about any of this stuff. Like, unless she admits that she had criminal intent, then that's not a pursuable avenue, which, we all know she's not going to do. And then the second thing is, was she grossly negligent? Was she literally like, getting drunk on a subway and leaving a briefcase full of top secret documents, in the seat by her as she exits the subway? Like, no, like that. Though he very limited in scope. That's something you have to understand, that he was not asked to assess the big picture and was any of this right or wrong or anything like that. Because he basically says, like, there should be consequences for this. He won't say what those are. But he's just saying he's suggesting not to take this to trial or charge her with anything, because ultimately there's no conviction that will be handed down. And that's possibly very, very true. I think he is completely on the up and up. I think he has made the best call. I think he is addressing this as a case, will they win or lose? And he's saying we will lose. But that's just because of the way the question was posed. That's because of the direction of the investigation and what they asked him to do. Like, I don't know where he gets his direction. I don't know who sets up the parameters for this investigation. But for Hillary Clinton, I would imagine this is the best case scenario for her, because like all she has to prove is that she has no criminal intent, or like you interview her, she's like, I didn't do it on purpose, and I'm just a silly person, and I didn't really think that mattered, and but like I said, she didn't fall into the category of being a drunk person leaving top secret documents on a bus. Like, they reviewed General Petraeus's case, and yeah, he like totally admitted that he did wrong, and like I said, it's not really apples to apples there. Like, no, that guy like totally screwed up and got punished for it. So to say that Hillary did worse than him, that's not really fair. They addressed that. I said, watch the highlights. One thing I don't understand is to like there's a couple of things. Like there appears to be no consequence to doing this. Like basically she could do it again tomorrow as long as she's careful enough to clean up behind her, which she did with her lawyers. Because like they didn't look into what they never even pried into what maybe the lawyer's seen. They're giving her the best case scenario on that one, that hey, she had to get her personal ones out and they took them out. Like no one is even questioning whether she destroyed state documents. That it's not even being posed. It wasn't even asked, which that to me is weird. There was no direction. And as far as I can tell, no one looking into the fact of the perjury on her testimony versus the facts. No one's looked into that. He stated he's not looked into that. And he's clear. He, like I said, is anybody looking into the lawyers for this? No. Like I don't really understand where the scope of this investigation came from, but I do understand what he's saying, and he is telling the American public the absolute truth. Through the parameters of his investigation, he could not prove. He doesn't feel he could prove a case that he could win in court, and that's what they're going to go with. Like what you have to question is, what is the government going to do about this and the multiple statutes that were involved? Are they going to fix this apparent loophole? Like if you, at the end of the day, can just say, hey, I didn't, all right, I suck. I mean, that's what she's guilty of, sucking, and if you can just say, oh, I didn't do it on purpose, and but I'm just a stupid person, total free pass. So, and I guess whatever you do, don't admit that you knew about it. That seems to be a downfall of several people that's got hemmed up on this. They basically admitted to the FBI that, well, I knew that I was probably doing something wrong. Boom, they got you. Don't say that. Just claim to be retarded, and you'll get a free pass. So the big grand finale on this, and the thing that I believe you have to take from this, is that the director of the FBI claims and states that she just was incompetent and negligent. Not grossly, but negligent, and that's why she gets a free pass. So all you Democrats out there that are like, this is the best person for the country, and this stupid Trump person, like the director thinks of her as such a silly person and so incompetent that it's not even worth prosecuting, because she just doesn't know any better. Even though she's been First Lady, she's been in the White House, she's been in Congress, she's been Secretary of State, and is claiming that, oh, I didn't really know what that hashtag meant. Oh, that means top secret. Oh, silly me. That's her defense, is like, just, negligence, just didn't know any better. So this is the woman that you want to elect as president of the United States, who after 25 years of being involved with government has claims and is getting a free pass on their inability to recognize classified information. So it's like, you got to hang your hat on something here. So if you're going to say she's innocent, and you're going to be like, she did nothing wrong, and that's what you're going to tell all your friends, then you also have to add in that she's innocent because she doesn't know any better, and she has no ability to protect and manage government information. Like I said, you can't live in both camps. She can't be the most competent person on the planet and should run this country, and be innocent. You're married at the hip at the fact that she is incompetent for her to be innocent. So ponder that and chew that one over, and have a come to Jesus moment whenever you're really thinking about voting for Hillary Clinton, because go listen to the highlights and basically listen to this man say, she's just incompetent. She's no criminal. She just sucks.